Hi all, welcome to the latest video of the putting lockdown. I hope some of you guys moving forward, I think this is probably the 7th or 8th video maybe we've done. I hope you guys are taking little bits from these videos and relating to some of the problems that we're covering, and I hope this is making a difference to your putting stroke as you're practicing at home. So today I want to talk to you about the grip. And I want to give you guys suggestions and show you different grips and how they might be able to help you make your putting stroke a little bit more consistent. So when I work with golfers that are new to the game, beginners, I like to let them stand to the putt, stand to the ball and grip the putter in a way that's instinctively quite comfortable. Putting is part of short game along with chipping, bunkers and pitching. So it's a very much a feel-based part of the game. So initially how they hold it, how they stand to it, I like new golfers to be comfortable. But as I start to work with members of golf clubs, seasonal, regular golfers, golfers who have handicaps, golfers who play competitively, golfers who come to me with certain issues and problems with their putting, that's when I start to look a little more at the grip and maybe manufacture a pupil's grip. And I'm going to give you some examples now. So we know we grip a 6-iron or a driver either using the interlock, the overlap, or perhaps a baseball grip. That's how a lot of new golfers might grip it. But when I work with golfers who are regular golfers and golfers who've played for a number of years, they'll grip their putter a little bit differently to perhaps how they grip a full swing shot. A very common one you'll see is people grip it and they have, for a right-handed golfer, their left hand, their index finger sits outside of the fingers of their right hand. That's quite a common one. You'll see some golfers who will go left below right. So for a right-handed golfer, and I've been doing this most of my life really, because I'm naturally left-handed, is they will have their left hand below their right. You've seen a craze now with people like Sergio Garcia, Tommy Fleetwood, Mickelson, amongst others, is what they will do with their lower hand, a right hand for a right-handed golfer, is they'll put it more on the golf club and hold it very similar to a pencil, called the claw grip. We see golfers who quite commonly have their index fingers, as opposed to wrapping them around the handle, they have them going down the handle vertically. And let me talk to you very quickly about how these changes can help. And again, if you think, yes, I'm guilty of that, then perhaps give some of these grips a go. The most common one, with the left index finger outside, what it does, it just adds a little bit of resistance and it prevents us from getting wristy. You appreciate if we gripped it with our hands split, very easy for the wrists to become very active and the putter face to open and close, and it can affect your judgment of distance. So quite simply, by having the hands close together and that index finger outside, it adds a little bit of resistance. It makes it very difficult for you to get wristy. If you feel quite commonly that when you putt, your right hand takes over and again, your wrists break down, you feel inconsistency in the stroke, my advice perhaps would be to swap the hands over. It feels a little bit alien at first, but what you see with your left hand now being a little bit lower, it acts as the dominant hand, okay? So your left hand controls the stroke, and what you'll see is your left hand then doesn't play as active a part in the stroke, okay? So for a lot of golfers, reverse or left hand below right for right-handed golfer, that can be a positive. Again, back to being very wristy and too much movement in the stroke and your hands controlling it, rather than gripping it conventionally with your index fingers wrapped around, try it with your index fingers positioned down the handle. Ian Poulter over the last couple of years he's moved his right finger down, just he says to add a bit more stability. That's something maybe you can try. And then the Sergio Garcia, Tommy Fleetwood, Phil Mickelson alternative, I actually used this last year in Turkey when I went with Ed and some members to a pram in Turkey, and I hadn't played much golf last winter. I reverted to this grip, this pencil grip, because for someone who hasn't played a lot, I felt it allowed me to strike the putts consistently, to make a consistent stroke without becoming jittery or without the pace of my stroke being compromised. I found it made a real difference from putts from 10 feet and in. I struggled, if I'm honest, trying to hit 40, 50 feet putts with this pencil grip. So at times when I was abroad, I resorted back to something conventional. And I've taught this to a lot of golfers that I teach, especially who struggle on short putts, who are nervous on 2, 3, 4 footers. I found that pencil alternative, or claw they call it, has really worked for a lot of golfers because it allows them to putt with confidence. It encourages a square putter face impact, and they're holding a lot more short putts. So my advice to you at home is, if you can relate to missing some short putts, if you can relate to your hands perhaps taking over the stroke rather than your arms and shoulders that we've talked about in a previous lesson, give these grips a go. And the beauty is, during this lockdown, while you're at home practicing, this is the time to do it. You're not in a meadow playing with your buddies, you're not playing for a couple of quid. Have a go at home and find out if any of these different grips make a difference to your putting stroke.